Hello guys, this is my submission for Unreal Return to Pali, and this is the expansion to the original Unreal, which was run at SGDQ 2015, I believe. And so the majority of the speed tech is pretty similar, but I am going to go over all of that anyways. So the time's going to start once we start this map. And so yeah, this is the expansion as I mentioned. One thing you'll notice off the bat is I'm doing dodging to move faster. It's a combat-based mechanic where you can evade like attacks or whatever, but it's more useful here for just movement. As you can see, it'll give us a minor boost of speed there, and we can use that to go a little bit faster throughout the game. And you'll be seeing a lot of it on this map because we don't have a lot in the game yet to do other things. But one thing that's important about this is you maintain your speed from the dodge until you make contact with the ground, so if you do it from higher surfaces you can gain more speed. Also, if you ride against slope geometry with a dodge, you can keep your speed along the geometry, which you'll see right here. It's pretty cool. And while we're continuing to move, I'll explain specifics about the patch of this game we're using. We're using the old Unreal patch, which is like 1.7 or something, I think. And it's very important to do this for two reasons. One, there's a technique we can do that we need this version of the game for, to really utilize it anyways. And the other thing is, with that technique, there are parts of this game that will crash if you don't have this version of the game. And the glitch I'm talking about, or the technique, is called save hovering, which allows you to just kind of hover upward infinitely, using quick save and quick load, but we'll get more into that later. Also, the expansion introduces air control, which is really nice, which you have to have the expansion played, or have to have run the expansion before you play the original game in order to get air control in the base game. Also, jumping up hills is a little bit faster than normal movement. You don't want to dodge because it's a waste of time, because you'll stop almost instantly. But jumping will make you go a little faster. But a lot of this is just getting optimal lines of movement with dodges. And later on, explosive boosts. Alright, so now we're going on to the second map, which introduces the ASMD, which is first weapon you can use to do explosive boosting, because that's a thing you can do in this game, and this can do two things. It can make you go higher, and it can also make you move faster, depending on what you use. So we're going to do a minor boost up here. Oh, I almost fell off. And then we're going to do this. This is save hovering, as I mentioned earlier. What it is it allows you to jump, quick save, and quick load, and once it's quick loaded, you will instantly jump the first frame that the game's loaded. Very useful technique because it allows us to skip quite a bit. Also allows us to do things like this, which saves us time, really small amounts of it. Doing that just prevents you from having to get out of water. It's only a couple seconds faster, but there's a couple of strats like that. We hit that switch to get this elevator down here because we have to go up, and unfortunately we have to wait for this elevator. There will be other elevators we have to take that we won't have to wait on, but unfortunately we can't do that right now. Also, I jumped it while I was riding the elevator. In Unreal and Unreal Tournament games, there's a mechanic where you can jump while you're riding an elevator, and it lets you jump a little higher. But we had to hit those three switches in order for these water mechanisms to activate, which will open this door after a few seconds. Nope. And one other thing about this game and its route is that managing your health and armor is pretty important, because later on you'll be doing a lot of explosive boosting, and a lot of explosive boosts that will require a lot of health to do. Part of that will be accomplished with this weapon right here, which is the grenade launcher. We'll be using that to do bunny hopping in a couple maps. But I guess part's swimming. Hope you like the color green. I do, so this is a great section. It's also great because I don't know if it's audible, but One of my favorite parts of the soundtrack is playing. This game has an amazing soundtrack. And if you do like the original Unreal soundtrack, you should check out the original Deus Ex soundtrack because it's composed by the same guy. Or at least I believe it is. We just gotta avoid this enemy. Try to not take damage. We can sometimes take damage and it's not a big deal, because he usually won't do enough to be a problem. Alright, we're just gonna do some minor boosts here. Oh wow, that was a really good one. Too good, actually. That just gets us to the next part. So we're gonna take this little boat ride. And this boat ride's kind of iffy because we want to do an explosive boost off the tip of the boat. And sometimes geometry's a little bit weird. So sometimes you can get a bad boost, and sometimes you can just slide off once it starts picking up speed. But doing that boost just lets us get to the end of the map quicker. Which again, you can just quick save and quick load to quick safe hover. Oh, that's not gonna work. I only go for that boost like once. It's not worth it if you don't get it the first time. But these boosts are very important to get. This enemy's kind of in the way, so there we go. Alright, we got both of them perfectly. Nice. Let's just get out of the village and go straight into the area where the exit is. Alright, so we picked up the grenade launcher earlier. This is kind of an area where you can really use it. And we'll see what I mean in a second. As I mentioned, there's a thing called bunny hopping. If we take a damage boost here and time our jumps really well, which is really awkward, by the way. The timing for bunny hops isn't very easy, nor is that very consistent. But we got all of them really quickly. That's good, and that'll just allow us to carry the speed we have from explosive boost through each jump. Saves us a little bit of time. Also, we did that little boost here to get up on this wall so that we can go straight to the ship. This saves quite a bit of time. I didn't get the boost here. I usually go for like one boost there in case. Now, coming up here is a really annoying section of the game because there is a very small chance the game can crash, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it if it happens, so I always quick save anyways in case. There we go. I didn't get the crash there. If we do crash the game there, again, there's nothing that can really be done, but luckily, like I said, I saved there anyways in case, so all we have to do is just relaunch the game and then reload the save. But yeah, we were on the ship that we're supposed to investigate, that we're sent to Pali to get. Got this chip, and now we're going to activate a cutscene.
By some miracle, the trans-like communications system on the Prometheus is still working. While I was exploring the comm center, I came across this exchange captured and recorded by the computers.
Deep Space Warship UNS Bodega Bay.
Prepared to take whatever steps are necessary to ensure the success of Operation Talonhunter.
Acknowledged.
Bodega Bay, one more thing. Operation Talonhunter.
So yeah, you can just kind of float around here.
Once you've finished your mission,
while this cutscene goes on. You're kind of stuck listening to it, unfortunately. I can't skip it. If you try to quick save and quick load out of it, the camera will be stuck here, so you won't really be able to see where you're going.
Terminate the prisoner once the job is done.
But you can just watch me fire blasters out of my waist. It's pretty cool.
After Operation Talonhunter is concluded. Bodega Bay, out.
I've been betrayed. Why does this not surprise me? I should have known what to expect from those bastards. I guess all I can do is
yeah, this is plot though. It's not relevant for the run because this game doesn't even have that much plot to begin with.
And then try to hijack the shuttle when they come to get me. It's a long shot, but it's all I've got. If I don't make it and someone ever recovers this log, maybe the truth will get out.
Alrighty. So now we're coming on to towards the end of this map, where we have a section where we're in forced combat. We have to kill a bunch of enemies. We haven't really done a whole lot of that in this game, so this will be kind of a nice change of pace. Pick up this armor, though, because it's going to be very useful to have. And so this fight's kind of annoying. What will happen is there are 3 waves of enemies we have to kill, spawning 3 enemies at a time. That spawn on 3 somewhat random locations. But that's not the annoying part. The annoying part is that they can just move around in random parts of the ship. Luckily they're not so far. You ideally want them to spawn in this pattern and stay in that general area. The annoying thing will happen is sometimes the enemy in the back will just move to another direction like he's doing right now, but he came back. He's also got a rocket launcher, so we gotta be careful. We do not want to get hit by that whatsoever. But we will be picking up the rocket launcher that they have just a second here. Like I said, we do not want to get hit by it whatsoever. It will screw up our health if we do that. Because we do need to have decent health doing some boosts coming up ahead. And those missiles will just take a huge chunk out of your shields. But yeah, that was a pretty decent fight. I didn't get too bad luck there. As long as you play well enough, it shouldn't be a big issue, but it can still happen. You can still get bad enemy patterns and have to wait for them or go chase them. So, you saw me doing bunny hops earlier with a grenade launcher, and we're going to be doing it again on this map because there's a long stretch of land we have to travel on. Hopefully we get a few of them. It's not a big deal if we don't get that many. Just going to jump down here first before we start it. Alright, so I got a couple, that's alright. I'm gonna try again though. Alright, that one wasn't as good, that's fine. Again, the timing for the bunny hopping is really awkward and not particularly consistent. So you just kind of have to guess. If you're not good at bunny hopping, you can always just do a bunch of explosive boosts. I don't like doing that though because it just tears away at your health. So next map we're going to do a little bit of a boost right here to get right across. That actually went really well. And then we're going to do another ASMD boost towards the bottom here to get to the next map. A lot of these boosts and save and loads are really useful just to get to certain areas quicker. And I should mention, I haven't mentioned it yet, but a lot of times when you see me falling and using save and load, this is just to make it so that I mitigate fall damage. Alright, so this next section is pretty cool. It's a pretty big skip here. Skips pretty much the entire level. I'm gonna try this again. There we go. But yeah, jumping right across it goes straight here, because they're not supposed to be able to do that. But with the magic of explosive boosting and save hovering, we can. Oh, come on. We're gonna pick up these 2 flares. These are gonna be very useful. Technically, we only pick up 1, or we only need to pick up 1, but I just kind of grab both of them while I'm there. Now I have to hit these 2 switches. Right here, and the reason we pick up flares is for this area specifically. That was really unlucky. Hopefully I have enough. I do. Get out of the way, please. Thank you. That was really bad luck. Oh, those enemies just kind of got in the way, and that's really unfortunate because that really did a lot of damage to me. So hopefully that's not going to be too much of a problem, but I just got really bad enemy patterns there. Also just accidentally skipped over the trigger that opens that door. That's cool. But yeah, the reason before all that happened was we needed to have flares, because if there's a solid object with collision underneath an elevator, it will just cause the elevator to go back up. So if there's ever like an object in between an elevator, keeping it from going up or down, they'll just change directions. Alright, so yeah, that's what we had to do that. But anyways, we're gonna do a boost here. Alright, this is really bad, so I'm just gonna restart the map. Don't want to save, I want to restart it. Luckily there's an option to do that right there. That was pretty bad though. And normally we could just do an ASMD boost over this, but my health is extremely low, so I'm just going to not do that. Also, I'm going to have to pick up this extra health because of my health being so bad. We have to go down here in order to get this little secret here. It's a health pack. Really useful. Again, like I've said, health is really important in this run, so we want to make sure we have a good amount of it. Otherwise, certain boosts won't be possible. I unfortunately have taken more damage already than I want to. But you saw me jumping on the conveyor belt, and that just saves a little bit of time because it boosts you. And normally, again, I would do a explosive boost here, but I'm just going to save hover because my health is really low. It's a little bit slower if I do that, but again, there are more important places for me to do explosive boosting. That's kind of the nice thing, is if, you know, things don't go good, you always have save hovering to come back on it, or if you fail a good explosive boost, you can always save hover the rest of it, which is kind of nice. There we go. Just did a save hover there to avoid having to climb those stairs. This part's really annoying, because sometimes there's an enemy that can prevent this elevator from going back up. Luckily we got really lucky and didn't have to worry about that. But again, we just use the flare again to just make it go up instantly. But again, sometimes there's an enemy that can randomly get on there and cause it to go straight back down, which is really annoying when that happens. Oh, get out of the way. Alright, so I'm gonna do an explosive boost here to lower this while we're swimming in lava that's not really doing damage to us. Alright, so my health is pretty much on par for where it needs to be. So I don't have to do like any safer strats at the moment, unless this goes badly. But yeah, that door, the enemy can sometimes hit you. It's not a big deal though, because if he only hits you once, you're fine. What's more annoying is that enemy can sometimes just block the door and prevent it from opening. Oh, I'd messed up. That's not good. I was trying to do an elevator boost to get up here faster, and it wasn't worth it because I missed. And you saw how much waiting was there. That's how much time you would normally have to wait for an elevator if you didn't have flares when you're waiting on them to go back up. So I guess that's kind of a good example right there of time that you can save. And now we got more swimming. This time the water's cyan, so we got a cyan filter instead of a green one. Alright, so our health is good. Now we just have to wait on this elevator. There's an enemy that can sometimes spawn and fall down here. It's not consistent if he does. Most of the time he'll show up if you start shooting a weapon, so we're just gonna not do that. We're just gonna stay in this general direction while we wait for the elevator to go down. There we go. Now we're on to the next map. I'm gonna do a rocket boost here because it's slightly faster than the intended route, which is just lowering a bridge. Alright, now we got perfect health and armor for this next boost we're gonna do here. This one's a little bit tricky. That was annoying. The enemy was in the way. Normally that can be a bad thing, but we survived. So yeah, that explosive boost didn't go as perfectly as it could have, but again, we just have safe hovering to make up for that. That jump's a little bit difficult, though. It does require a lot of health and pretty good jump timing to get the best possible jump out of it. And this is just to get this armor so that we can swim through this acid. Alright, so now got another explosive boost coming up here that we need the 8-ball gun for. This one can be annoying to do because of that enemy over there. Like sometimes they'll just chase you and start hitting you while you're trying to do it, and that's really annoying. Alright, so we're gonna do... Oh, what am I doing? I wanted to use this. So a lot of the time you see me just using the 8-ball gun for explosive boosting just because it does do the most explosive damage, so it'll send you the highest. Oh shoot, he's gonna follow me. You don't really want this to happen. It can though. And it's really annoying because he can do a lot of damage. And he just follows you. He takes forever to kill too, so it's like not even worth it to try and kill him. I'm stuck. Okay, that's really, really bad actually. Alright, so we're gonna fall down here. Normally we'd have to, normally there'd be a floor that we just went past that would go up and we'd have to fight an enemy in order to get here, but it's just faster to, not do that. Alright, so this shouldn't be that big of a deal because there is health here, but normally we don't want that enemy following us because he does do a lot of damage. And admittedly my health is a little lower than I would have liked it to be, but this is the only required boss fight in the game. This is a Titan. You may have noticed in a previous map we did pass these guys earlier, but we didn't have to fight them. This one we actually have to kill, otherwise we can't get to the next part of the level. Or to the next level, sorry. And sometimes these enemies can do us good, other times they can do us bad. Oh, he's not dead? Hello? Has he not dead? Hello? But you have to watch out with this boss because... Jesus, that took so long. I don't know why. But, yeah, that boss fight's really annoying because he throws boulders that do a lot of damage. And ideally you don't want to take damage because that will kill you and it prevents us from being able to do boosts here. So unfortunately I'm going to have to opt out of a couple of them. We can try and save time by doing bunny hopping with them, but it didn't work out to my advantage. Alrighty, we got a good boost there though. That just gets us to the switch to activate the portal to the end of the game, or to the last map of the game. And I keep getting hit by enemies. This is just such bad luck. I can't stress that enough. It's just those enemies move around so sporadically and random. It's really hard to pin it on anything other than luck because you can't always anticipate what they're gonna do. And if they pin you against a corner, they just start doing a lot of damage. It's pretty awful. Yeah, unfortunately the big downside is that that boss fight took so long. And because it used so much ammo, I can't do the fastest way to get to around this level. So I am going to just do this instead. And jump straight to the exit, and then that's the end of the game. So that wasn't a particularly great run, mostly because, well, it started out really good, but the ending was a little bit sloppy. The boss fight really did just kind of eat away a lot of time, but that boss fight's really scary to screw up, so I played it way safer than I should have, and lost track of how many rockets I was firing at him. So yeah, that's Unreal Return to Pali. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Be cool to see this considering it was done at SGDQ in 2015. It's been a while since this game series has had any representation, so again though, hopefully you like it.